Good morning. Welcome to Reading the Science of Mind, a philosophy of faith, a way of life in 1 year. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of Center for Spiritual Living, Common Ground in Central Maryland. Today is January 6th, and so let's see what January 6th offers us. There we go. So we're reading from page 28, paragraph 4, through page 29, paragraph 2. There are not two minds, only two names. Mind, the thing, spirit, causation, is beyond and yet not beyond our grasp. Beyond in that it is so big. Within, in that wherever we grasp it, we are it to the extent that we grasp it. But since it is infinite, we can never encompass it. We shall never encompass God, and yet we shall always be in God and of God. Mind comes under two classifications. There are not two minds, but rather two names employed in describing states of consciousness: the objective, or conscious, and the subjective, or unconscious. We think of the conscious state as our conscious use of mind. The subconscious or subjective state of mind, sometimes called the unconscious state, is that part of mind which is set in motion as a creative thing by the conscious state. In the body of this textbook, under the heading of subjective mind, we say, in the subjective mind of humans, we find a law obeying their word, the servant of their spirit. Suggestion has proved that the subconscious mind acts upon our thoughts. It is the mental law of our being and the creative factor within us. It is unnecessary at this point to go into all the details of the subjective mind and its mode of action. It is enough to say that within us is a mental law, working out the will and purposes of our conscious thoughts. This can be no other way than our individual use of that greater subjective mind, which is the seat of all mental law and action, and is the servant of the eternal spirit throughout the ages. So what the heck does all that mean? Right? It's tricky, and what has helped me over the years is to really play with the words objective and subjective. And to understand that sometimes we use consciousness to speak about awareness. Sometimes we use consciousness when we're referring to psychological states of being. Sometimes consciousness refers to physical states of being. And sometimes when it has a capital C, it's referring to the thing itself, substance, God, consciousness, the quantum field. And so we get to recognize that language might just be our greatest barrier. Where I finally understood, because my brain wants to think of mind as an object, like a hat, right? Like a microphone, a mind as a thing. And the objective mind, as I understand what metaphysics and Holmes is talking about, is our conscious, intentional, aware use is how we think, how we believe, how we move consciousness, right? The substance. And the subjective mind is referring to the activity of law within us. We're talking about a triune nature, right, of a thing. And that the subjective mind, the activity of law within mind, is subject to what the objective mind gives it, if that makes sense. And it may not, right? I don't claim to be an expert on any of this. I am still learning with you, and I have read this book so many times, and every time I do, I see something I've never read before, or that I never remember reading before, because I'm sure I read it. It just didn't sink in. And so that's that place where, we know and experience as much of it as we know and experience. And from that perspective, it's always a journey home to the truth of our being, to the essence of us. And that requires us to grapple with all of the conditioned thinking that creates our sense of separation, which means grappling with language, right? It's a thing, but it doesn't have to be a hard thing. It's just a thing. The fact that we even think it could be a hard thing is part of the conditioning that we get to unravel. And I say get to because we don't have to, but we get to if we choose to. And so I invite you to consider, we're going to move into our time of meditation, and to maybe take into this 5-minute practice of being present just an openness to allow consciousness within you as you to inform you, what do you actually understand, and what might be available for you to understand. And then you can choose to grapple with that however you do. It's a beautiful, beautiful journey. So let's go into our time of meditation and contemplation. I will close us out with what is called a spiritual mind treatment, which is simply a form of prayer to align our human thinking, our awareness, with our divinity. That's all we're doing. We're healing errant thought. Okay, here we go. There is only one, never two. One infinite. Infinite meaning nothing can be added. Eternal. Having no beginning, it can have no end. It simply is. Always has been, always will be. Infinite possibility, meaning that it already is everything that can ever be. It already is. And so it is changeless, limitless, everywhere present. The singular substance of life itself, of creation. Always one. Known by many, many names. God, mind, law, the thing itself, the great mystery. By whatever name we call it, it is all of them and so much more. It is beyond the confinement of a definite, limited idea. So I open and expand to simply knowing it as what is. To recognizing that being the singular substance of all life, and I am here living, that I must be an expression of it, an animation of it. And that being the singular substance, I must be created out of it, so I must contain it. The very essence, the very substance of my being, of this physical expression, must be the infinite itself. And so the creative process must be a part of that. And so I am literally a portal of creation. And in the truth of one mind, consciousness itself, that same power to express in multiplicity, to be aware of and express the desire of creation, to simply create, to simply express, must be in me, as me. And what is true of me must be equally profoundly true of all. And that in the wisdom of infinite intelligence, this one creates the power of choice within its creation, recognizing that choice must be present to expand. That no expression of the infinite is automated, is on autopilot. We are not automatons. We are the infinite with choice. And every choice, whether we are aware or unaware, moves consciousness into expression. And so I claim and affirm living in awareness, living in and from intentionality. Understanding. I claim and affirm a willingness to dig deeper, to dig deeper than the limitations of conditioned thinking and conditioned languaging to that silence within that recognizes itself. The commitment to go deep within, to return home to an awareness and experience of the I am within every expression. I am. I claim and affirm that powerful yes. Yes to that journey inward. Yes to that journey of awareness home. Yes to that understanding. Yes. And yes to every desire within me to express in alignment with the truth of my being. Recognizing that what I speak is the word of the infinite, speaking itself into being in every form of itself. I recognize that with the activity of law in this creative process, that the word spoken, the desire of the infinite to be, cannot be ignored. Because this infinite cannot be divided against itself, and so it instantly receives the impress, receives the desire, and acts upon it. Subjective, the in subjugation to that aspect of mind, that desire to be. Using all of infinite intelligence, it simply makes it happen in ways and time frames and avenues that the human me cannot even begin to predict or understand. And so I choose to follow. I choose to say yes to being on the path laid out before me, even as my foot comes down. I trust that the path is being laid out, and I say yes. Yes to being all that I can be. Yes to most fully expressing the infinite that I am. Yes to releasing every doubt, every fear, every attachment to this conditioned realm that would in any way limit or obscure my experience of the whole. I let it all go, knowing that life has already responded to life and made it so. Law has already responded to desire and made it so. Subjective mind has already responded to objective mind and made it so. However we phrase it, it is done. And so the only thing left to do is let go, to symbolize to my brain that it is complete. And knowing it is complete, I know it is present. And so I live this day in it, through it, as it. I let it be. And I be it. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amin. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.